Hello, my friends. It's Jade Bolden. So I started the 30-day cleanse challenge now, and a lot of my friends all over the world, they're doing the challenge with me, and I'm very excited. And I have been just feeling this prompting to talk to you about the topic sanctification over comfort. And I've been putting it off, but I think I should just do it before it gets too uncomfortable. So anyways, when we're doing the 30-day cleanse, we're going to feel discomfort. When we're doing any sort of change, we're going to feel uncomfortable. Okay, and sometimes when we're not even paying attention, right, and something happens that causes us discomfort, we think it's so inconvenient, and we really wish we could just fix it now quickly and then move on. Okay, but this is an opportunity for us. We live here on earth, and any sort of discomfort is an opportunity for us to change. Okay, so if we focus on changing, that discomfort will actually go away more permanently. Okay, as humans, we can get really distracted, can't we? So I feel that I'm no different than anybody else. I get distracted all the time, and then I have to refocus again. But anytime I get discomfort in the last few years, I've learned to pause long enough to ask God what the sanctification lesson is. Okay, ask my body what the sanctification lesson is, and then I strive to achieve that lesson, or allow myself to embrace the emotions, and then I have this lesson, this change, and then the comfort that comes from it is far greater than what I can ever imagine. And it's not just a quick fix of a comfort, okay, because those comforts are actually very temporary, but this is more of a permanent change of heart. All right, so I just want to share with you what I've learned, and maybe you can use that, especially during this time that you're doing a cleanse. So I know that a lot of people are going to have a lot of discomfort, but not beyond their ability, okay, to withstand, okay. But I just want you to understand those discomforts and work with it and not against it. And those who are not comfortable with or used to the discomfort and change, and tend to be kind of passive, they're not going to experience the success that they could have if they were to be more proactive. Okay, so our human nature, we really want to put as little effort into anything we do as possible. Okay, and so we choose the easy left instead of the hard right. We move away from pleasure and move towards pain, and that's perfectly normal. But how we move away from the pain is actually the key to our ultimate joy. So we can have a little bit of comfort or a lot of comfort and joy. Okay, so which one do we want? The one with the ultimate joy and comfort requires you to put a little bit more effort in. Okay, so for me, I don't like to live in mediocrity. I like to do things as best as I can, maximize my potential and my opportunities, so I don't have to go around in circles. Okay, so we try to attempt to resolve discomforts with temporary quick fixes, and those quick fixes, they actually hurt us in the long run. They don't resolve our problems, and they actually extend our pain. Okay, but if we keep on trying to fix it with our own understanding, we actually get into a distracting loop. Okay, so we're trying to find solutions in the wrong areas, and we just keep on going around and around in circles. And you will know that you're in that loop when you feel like you've done this before and you don't have a good result, that you feel stuck. that, you know, you don't know how to get out of this, okay? Because there's, you know, you've tried everything. So that's the clue that you're in this distracting loop, okay? The reason why we're in that loop is because we applied our limited understanding to a situation that's new, okay? That only God and our inner divinity know how to overcome it or change, okay? So it's a new situation, so you have to apply new skills and knowledge, and you know, the new skills and knowledge will only come from divine downloads and, you know, being still enough to receive that divine download, okay? Your physical body is able to do that, to receive it. So, you know, there is a reason for discomfort, and sometimes we don't even think about why we have discomfort. Maybe we think that this is the way the world is and we just have to deal with it, okay? And it's filled with sadness and bitterness and sorrows and frustration. Well, maybe not, okay? So I strongly believe that our body that we're given when we came down to earth is very intelligent and is of divine origin. So that means our body knows how to heal. It is more than just healing. It has a divine purpose to train us to progress, to be more like God. So did you hear me? Our body's purpose is to train us to progress, to be more like God. Okay, because God is light, God is love, God is good for all things, right? All things good. He creates and He gives life, okay? So when we are in a more light and love-filled energy, when we're in a space of creativity, what happens? We're healthier, we're happier, and we're actually a little bit holier, all right? So holier as in H-O-L, not holes, like poking holes. So when we're in the dark and we're filled with hatred and anger and other negative energy, what happens, right? We are misaligned, obviously, to our divine purpose, but we're also sick as well, okay? Our physical body will manifest sickness, okay? And it's just that simple. So if you go backwards, sickness is actually a sign of just misalignments. Okay, and when we're realigned again, we will experience health, okay? Because thy faith has made thee whole, right? Okay, really, it's about faith and energy and light, all right? So God is not sick, right? He's not, you know, unhealthy looking, you know? He has a beautiful body and He's happy, right? And we're here to learn that as well. Okay, so I truly, truly believe that God doesn't make truth and answers complicated or inaccessible to His children, right? Why? Why would He do that, right? So the purpose of our physical discomfort is to create an opportunity for us to pause, realign ourselves to our true purpose on earth again. That's what the purpose is, okay? Our body is this self-correcting machine, okay? Since we are spiritual beings having a physical experience, our body serves as a sanctification vessel for our spirits. A sanctification vessel for our spirits, okay? It's a place, right, where it will sanctify us, right? And you know, sanctification is not necessarily always comfortable and ease, right? But it's good for us, okay? Our eyes are veiled, but not the rest of our body. The rest of our body is, you know, still very fully operational, right? And still following the divine directives given to it for our ultimate spiritual success, right? But when we ignore it and we poison it and we suppress our physical body, what happens? It can't communicate as well and function as well, and can't help us sanctify our spirit as well as it could, right? So we need to help it stay clean. That's why we're doing this 30-day cleanse, right? So our heavenly, loving, intelligent heavenly parents, they would never let us wander here in the dark, purposeless, okay, without tools or assistance, right? It doesn't make sense. If you are a parent, if you send your children out somewhere, you make sure they have enough money, they have a car or gas or petrol, to do the things that they need to do. You prepare them. If you have smaller kids, you pack lunch for them. You do what you can. Heavenly Father, Heavenly Mother is the same. Okay, we're here, right, with a lot of tools to help us succeed. We can succeed. Please believe that. Don't listen to the lies that we can't and it's too hard, okay? Our subconscious naturally wants to be comfortable, of course, okay? But that comfortable desire, what is that about? Okay, if we're comfortable, we are joyful, okay? The comfort gives us joy, right? So basically, we want joy, right? Is that true? Yeah. So, we can have a lot of divine joy, okay, if we can utilize our very obvious, super powerful tool, okay, that we've been given on earth. And that super powerful tool is what? It's our physical body, okay? So we really need to honor our body because our body holds the keys to this ultimate joy. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's talk about joy. What really is joy? Okay, so joy, is, in the world, joy, they think of joy as when you have a good job, when you have a lot of money, when you have a lot of power, a lot of popularity, when your body is hot, or, when your face looks pretty and young looking, okay? All of that, right? The invisible list keeps growing and growing. And all of that, okay, is elusive. We cannot achieve all of that if we keep on chasing after it. The list will keep on growing and we'll never have that joy, okay? Even if you achieve one, you can't achieve the other one without a lot of struggle, okay? So basically, we are focusing and aiming at the wrong things, okay? It brings us more sorrow than it brings us joy. That extra 5 pounds or extra 5 kilos, it brings us really a lot of sorrow. And you work so hard to get it off, but there's an easier way to get rid of that, okay? So these things cause us to be short-sighted and distracted from our spiritual growth and development, okay? It's not bad, it's just too short-sighted, that's all. So we can look beyond that. So the true joy actually comes from fulfilling our purpose on earth, okay? True joy that we're really subconsciously looking for is to fulfill the purpose on earth, okay? That's what we're rigged to do. So in my studies, I discovered that there are 4, our earthly purpose has 4 parts to it. Okay, so there's, but all of these things all come together to really help you fulfill the measure of your creation, your full potential, okay, full divine potential if you must, okay? So the first one is to learn to create joy with our body. So that's the first part of the purpose, life purpose, okay? So we do this by following our heart compass and by reading the literal language of your body. So your physical body, the stiff neck, the sore knee, the painful back, whatever, the acne, headaches, all of that gives you clues as to what it is that you're doing that's misaligned. Okay, so maybe headache is about overthinking, okay, pausing and stressing and creating more worry than you ought to, you need to. Okay, stiff neck, you're not looking at something in a more positive way, right? You have to turn and look at something in a different way. Okay, so all of those little lessons, they're important. Okay, so the first part of our life purpose here, or it's not in like order of importance, but it's just number one, okay, one part is to create joy. So all of the things that our body is telling us and teaching us, and our heart is always pointing towards joy. Okay, how does that perspective give you more joy? How does, you're following your heart inspiration create more joy, because the joy is like the star that points north. You're heading towards that direction. Just follow that. All right. Trust that. Okay. And God knows what he's doing. Right. So that's one of the purposes. So if we follow our heart to create more joy, that joy, is more permanent. Okay. Because that's where our real joy comes from, not what we think is joyful. Okay. So, all the efforts that we put in, okay, will lead us to this uplifting and peaceful and powerful emotional state we call joy. Okay, so you can read about it in the scriptures. I have a link in this video. You can go to my website and look up Sanctification over Comfort, and you can read about it and see the scriptures that I quoted. Okay. So number 2 part of our purpose is to master the power of choice to choose God and faith in every situation. Okay, this surrendering to God is what people often refer to as the test. Okay, so Joshua in the Bible talks about, choose ye this day who you will serve. Okay, as for me and my house, I will serve God. Right? So in every situation, there is a faith promoting experience, opportunity, and we need to see it. Okay, so that's part of our purpose, is to find those experiences and then master our power of choice to choose those experiences that can strengthen our faith. Okay, so the 3rd part of our purpose is to refine ourselves and sanctify ourselves. And that refinement and sanctification just basically means a descension before we ascend and finally transcend. Okay, so we will go through this grieving when we let go of something that we've been holding on to, right? That we've been trying to achieve or have, or whatever it is. We will feel a little bit of sorrow, letting go and making room in our hearts for God. Okay, and that sanctification is to help us be more perfect. We will never be perfect on this earth, but we'll come closer to getting to be more perfect each day as we allow ourselves to be sanctified. Kind of like allowing, if you're a berry bush, you're allowing the gardener to cut you and prune you and trim you down, okay, so that you can become the berry bush that he wants you to become, that you have designed to become, really. Okay, so same with you. Things happen in the world and we feel disappointed and sad or whatever. Those things refine us, okay, so we can become who we are meant to become. So when I was pondering over why I was born in Vietnam, in a war-torn country, why my family suffered so much, I became so grateful, because the answer was, it was for your own good, and I can see why and how, okay, because it really helped me connect to God and understand humanity. Okay, so speaking of humanity, the 4th part of our purpose on earth, okay, is to serve humanity with our gifts and talents. Okay, and as we assist God, right, and helping people come to God, right, so that they can be truly happy too, that will help us become more joyful. Okay, and that helps us have more comfort, really, isn't that right? So this is a sign, just giving and serving and thinking about other people and outward thinking is a sign of godliness, okay, because we're experiencing a true divine powerful joy that comes from God in our heart. We want to share that charity, that love with them, because who can shut up? Who can hold just the happiness in just for themselves? You can't. Something so good, you just want to shout it out and share with people, make sure that other people are experiencing that love and joy too, right? You can't help it when your heart is filled with that. And so that's the clue, is to have that, your heart filled with that energy. Okay, So if you don't have that energy, that's what we were going to work on, right? So these earthly discomforts give us feedback. Okay, it has a purpose. It compels us to listen to that inner voice, to listen to the Spirit of God. Okay, so when we do a personal interview with ourselves, and take inventory of our choices, we may find that we're neglecting in one of these areas, or maybe more than one of these areas. Okay, so all of these 4 areas of our life purpose is actually very interconnected. So in order to do well in one area, you're going to have to do well in the other areas too. So I feel like it's best to work on each of those areas all together, but all at once. Okay, just a little bit here, a little bit there. And as you work on having more faith, serving other people more, all of those areas will grow and strengthen at the same time. Okay, it's not difficult, because it's all it's all one and the same, really. Okay, so remember, basically the discomforts mean that we've been distracted from our true purpose, and our true purpose is those 4 things. So if you kind of work backwards and figure out, oh, what am I not doing, right? I'm not serving humanity. Oh yeah, okay. Then you can figure out, oh, okay, that's why. Okay, so when we stay focused to our true purpose, all our wants, all our needs, okay, will be met anyways. Yeah, we will get it all. We'll have the good health, we'll have the good looks, we'll have the financial abundance, and we have the time freedom that we want. We'll have the friends and the playfulness and the joy and the fun that we've been looking for anyways. Okay, those will be natural outcomes, really, of the right focus, right? Because they don't take a huge chunk out of your short-sighted focus. You're focusing beyond that, and all these things will come in between. Okay, hope that makes sense. Okay, so God wants us to be happy. He wants us to have it all, really, right? He will give it to us, but we need to focus on our earthly life purpose. Okay, we'll get all those things. They're actually just natural byproducts or worldly blessings. Okay, but they don't take a high priority space in our heart anymore. Okay, so if you're just focusing on having the hot body, guess what? When I worked on just relaxing and serving and stuff, I was able to, have more, lighter weight, and then able to have a better health than I've ever experienced before. Okay, so we no longer need to feel stressed and fearful, because those things that we want, right, those things create a lot of stress because we're focusing on it. If we focus beyond it, okay, we won't have that stress, and we actually make room. Okay, so we open our heart up to God and our divinity, and suddenly we find the power to master the elements, okay, to make room for these worldly blessings, okay, to enter. We can create those things. God wants us to have those things, okay? He's not denying us of them. It's just that we haven't learned to master the elements by looking at the eternal perspective of things, okay? So this is what I believe is, what it means to be living in the world but not being of the world, okay, in John 15:19. Okay, and it also reminds me of another scripture in Matthew 16:24-25, and it reads, "For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it." So basically, your heart is not attached to those things anymore. You like them, you put them, on the wish list, send them up to heaven, but it's not, I'm gonna have to have it, right? Because it stresses you out. It's not bringing you happiness, really. Okay, so if we work too hard to help our bodies stay strong and healthy, we're stressing over food, or we're counting the calories and the carbs, we're watching it, we can easily get distracted by that, all of that world. Okay, and still, even if we achieve it, we'll still be unhappy. Okay, we'll still not be fulfilled. Okay, you'll still feel like there's something missing. Okay, because the solution to good health isn't without, isn't about the food, isn't about the diet, isn't about the exercise, it's about something inner inside of you. Okay, so if you want to read about that, Mark 7:18 to 23. Okay, so another example is when I see people focusing on personal development and pushing themselves forward and studying, you know, and earning degrees and earning lots and lots of intelligent, you know, symbols. Okay, that's all good. That's all good. But if they do that without learning the personalized lesson that the body is teaching us, the divine personal lessons that our body is teaching us every single day, okay, then we would have missed the mark. Okay, we'll still feel unhappy and a lack of progression. I had a friend and she says, I own every personal development book in the world. I think she was just exaggerating, but what she's saying is she's done so much and she still feels unfulfilled, feels like she hasn't progressed. And the reason for that is that your personal lesson about progression is from within. All right, so if I smell an oil and it smells amazing to me, I can look it up and say, okay, why am I drawn to this oil, right? Yes, that's right. This oil says that, you know, connect to Heavenly Father more, or whatever it is. All the plants remind us of their divine source. Okay, so we, like I said, we get distracted and we just want quick comfort. Can you just fix my headache? But here this says, well, you're overthinking, right? Because you're not trusting, you're not feeling. Okay, and that's the lesson. It's really simple, but a lot of us overthink and look beyond the mark. Okay, so you know, pretend that you are doing really well. You're faith-filled, you're healthy, you're intelligent, you're financially well off, and you're focusing on bettering yourself every day. You've taken care of your house and home and everything is just so. All right, but if you have neglected to focus on serving humanity with your special gifts and talents, I promise you, you'll still feel like there's something missing, that you're not quite all the way happy. All right, so that's happens to me every now and then when I feel like I've got stuff, I've got food, I've got money, I've got time, and I've got good health, and then I feel down. And when I do that, it is just a sign, okay, of a misalignment. And then when I remember, I ask God, what's this about? Oh, you know, I'm not focusing on serving my calling as much as I should. And when I focus and I suddenly make that choice, happiness is mine right there. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share with you. So we actually, as people start healing, we do have to have a stage where we help ourselves heal first. Okay, so when we heal ourselves up to a certain level, maybe 80%, 70, 80%, then we can't go any further without helping others sanctify and progress themselves. For some reason, we need each other. Okay, we're social creatures, right? And when we lose ourselves in the service of others, we will be able to complete our healing. And it's fantastic. You know, it's a fantastic thing that Heavenly Father has put in us, right? So as we surrender and we let go of worrying about ourselves so much and we serve, we start to get divine downloads and healing for our friend and for us. Okay, so it's a miracle. And, you know, it teaches us outward thinking, charity, connection, you know, and all sorts of things. So all this, okay, will bring us a greater level of joy, okay, and divine power beyond our imagination. Okay, and so that, of course, is more than just comfort, isn't it? Okay, so whatever discomfort you have, my friend, right, we have an ability to get rid of it. We can do it, okay, but we're going to be going beyond just comfortable. Okay, we're going to have the great joy that really we're looking for in comfort. Okay, so focus on realigning yourself to God. Okay, we cannot afford to be passive. If you are passive on this journey as you detox and cleanse, okay, I promise you that you're not going to get as much out of it as somebody else that is proactive. Okay, so the spiritual discomfort is very similar to the physical discomfort of growing pains. Okay, it, you know, as you grew up into adulthood, your body changed and morphed and stuff, and it was uncomfortable because it was part of growth. And likewise, you know, you're going to go through that discomfort as part of your spiritual growth too, but you will recover, right? You're here and your body's fine now, right? That's what's going to happen. Okay, so like I said, it's a little bit of a descension before you ascend, and then before you transcend. Okay, so new and unfamiliar things, of course it's uncomfortable because it's new and unfamiliar, but we are able to adapt. Okay, we will. So I want to share with you before I end here a quote that this is from Viktor Frankl. Okay, he's a very faith-filled man. He wrote the book Man's Search for Meaning. Okay, so he says, don't aim at success. The more you aim at it and make it a target, the more you are going to miss it. For success, like happiness, cannot be pursued. It must ensue, and it only does so as the unintended side effect of one's personal dedication to a cause greater than oneself, or as a byproduct of one's surrender to a person other than oneself. Happiness must happen, okay? And the same holds for success. You have to let it happen by not caring about it. I want you to listen to what your conscious commands you to do and go on to carry it out as to the best of your knowledge. Then you will live to see that in the long run, I say, success will follow you precisely because you had forgotten to think about it. Okay, so my understanding of this is, you know, we will be uncomfortable and unhappy when we focus on the worldly success and happiness. Okay, when we're trying to strive and do it on our own, okay, with our limited understanding. When we focus on following the promptings within to serve a greater purpose, okay, with our, purpose than our own comforts, right, beyond ourselves, right, serving other people, we will have happiness and success. The happiness and success we wanted in the first place. Okay, it will come naturally. So it's all about a change of focus. Okay, so that's why I titled this video Sanctification over Comfort, because if we focus on the sanctification, right, the comfort will come anyways. Okay, so in conclusion, right, when we experience the discomforts, instead of panicking and fearing that it's going to destroy us immediately, that's too much for us, that it's beyond our limited human abilities, we can actually choose to believe that we have the power to create comfort by focusing on the current lesson of sanctification. What is it that I need to do to sanctify? Allow yourself to feel that discomfort, that pain, the grief, the whatever, okay, and then move through it, okay, because it's going to be joy on the other side. All right, and so make the spiritual change to focus, and your comfort, right, will be a natural byproduct. So focus on what? To focus on sanctification. Okay, so my friend, I hope you liked this video. I hope that, you know, something inside of you is awakened. If you like to learn more about energy balancing, please contact me. Go to my website. I just started another semester. We start every 7-8 weeks. Okay, so you can join me online. It's a self-guided course. Okay, it's very affordable, but in the course you learn how to awaken your inner self, awaken your inner powers. You learn how to muscle test to be able to tap into your subconscious. You can attend weekly live Q&As, so we can chat face to face online. Okay, You learn skills to do childhood regression work, all right? Be able to master healing inside of you, mind, body, and spirit, okay? You'll be able to find more true happiness, okay, than what you're experiencing now. Unlock your creativity, have greater health, have a deeper level of understanding of health, okay, using essential oils and other natural solutions, okay? And in the end, hopefully, you'll be able to come and volunteer to be God's earth angel, to bless the lives of the people who are around you within your circle of influence. So, my friend, I invite you to join me if you can. Go to my website. But till then, take care, and lots of love, light, and healing to you. Bye for now.